You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find. Welcome to the One More for the Good Guys podcast, where good guys gather to shed light on the good life, the people, and the good things that make it that way. I'm Mike McGill with my co-host, Jamie Akins. Now, raise your glass, lend us your ear, and let's have one more for the good guys. Now, sorry, don't cut it when it's... Hey, everybody. McGill Billy here.
And I'm Jamie.
Welcome to Good Guys Cigars. Cigar of the Week, brought to you by your good friends at One More for the Good Guys podcast.
Yeah. They're good friends of ours.
Good friends of ours. But yeah, so we're trying a little thing a little bit different this week, but we're going to showcase one of the cigars that over the years, we have gotten to enjoy, we've come to love, and one that has treated us in proper return, with the same amounts of like and love in return, and that is the Oliva V Melanio, Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. This is the torpedo size. Come in all sizes. They've got a little short Robusto. They've got got a good Churchill,
yeah,
Toro, all your standard sizes.
Basically, a Churchill's this.
Yeah, another inch longer. Yeah. But we happen to be smoking the torpedo. Yeah, really good cigar.
Which I'll just not to interrupt, but this is my favorite size though. In this, it's good in every size, but I like, and I'm not really, as you know, not really a torpedo fan per se. I just think this was the first one, and I was like, "Oh my god!" The first one you did that with was the Robusto. Remember?
Yeah. The first time I ever smoked the Melanio, regular Series V Melanio, was in a Robusto size, and I sent him a picture of it through text, and he said, "What do you think about it?" And I said, "Might be one of the best Robustos I've ever smoked."
And then my response was, "That's a pretty big talk." That's paraphrased.
Yeah.
That's big. That's saying something because.
And I said, "I ain't kidding you." I said, "You need to try it." Because at that time we were in a Cigar of the Month club together.
Right.
We were getting the same thing.
Yeah. I think though that when that actually happened, I wasn't at home, so I didn't have it with me. And because I recall you saying that, and I think I went and bought one. It smoked a bigger one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but they're all great.
Yeah.
And the reason I bought some of this size.
Let me take that back. I said it might be one of the best Robustos I've ever smoked. I didn't say it was the best.
Right, might be one of the best. Yeah. You didn't make
I did clear.
But still, I mean, that's...
Oh my gosh.
Every cigar you've ever smoked in your life, you probably had a Robusto in.
Yeah.
Unless it was a one-off. And
yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's saying a lot. But anyway, what we wanted to do was kind of come up with a cigar, a highlighted cigar for the show. And may end up being a cigar of the week, but highlighted cigar. And this is one of my very personal favorites. I just fell in love with it. And I've got a kind of a hot and cold past with Oliva, mostly cold, because when I first started smoking around 07, 08, Oliva was really hot, especially the regular Oliva V.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one, and it was just not my thing. And just to be honest as I could be, I haven't had a regular Oliva V since. But I need
a very different cigar.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very different cigar.
So when we got these, I was a little skeptical, but man, I'll tell you,
Mm-hmm.
And we sell these as well, but this is one of the finest smokes on the planet.
Yeah, we have these in stock for sure. This cigar got Cigar of the Year in 2014.
Yeah.
And
I think in this size too.
Yeah. And most recently was number 8 cigar of 2020 and earned as high as a 96-point rating with notes that has rich, big notes of leather framed by a range of coffee, caramel, and woody intonations.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Sounds great. I bet what it doesn't talk about in there is the flawless construction and how this wrapper just feels badass.
Yeah.
It just does. It's like the perfect combination of smooth and soft but ruddy as hell. Anyway.
No, it's, I have noticed that about a lot of the Oliva stuff, especially the Melanios, because these are obviously when you go into a brick and mortar, they're going to have these guys out where you can see them because they want to sell them. And they're, a sought after. I mean, are they as sought after now as they were in 2014? Of course not. Don't be silly, but you still have, I would say, I don't know this to be 100% true, but I would say that Oliva, Padron, and Perdomo probably have their own smokers. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say, what I mean by that is like,
if you smoke Olivas, you smoke Olivas.
You smoke Olivas. If you smoke Padron, you smoke Padrones, whether, 1000 series or the next.
Which would probably be everybody if they could afford it.
Noah's Ark, 1936, whatever.
Right. Which would probably be everybody if you could afford them.
Well, certainly we would. If there was something that we deemed that affordable. I mean, now we've got some here, Padrones, and we buy them, but you know what I'm saying? Like brand loyalty.
Sure.
I would say Oliva,
Monte Cristo. You talking about the people that demand that are just like
brand loyal.
Brand loyal.
I would say Padron, Perdomo, and Oliva are probably your top 3
of the New World brands.
Yeah.
I'd say you're probably right.
I'm
just going through the rest of my head.
Yeah, and I'm just off the top of mine. So I mean, I've said it, and now I'm going to start thinking about it.
Well,
but
and two,
every quick catalog that I went through before it came out, I was just kind of like, it's just.
And two,
I mean, one of our best customers was an Oliva smoker.
Yeah. Well, they have a big presence everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't go to a humidor and not see Oliva stuff.
They have a big presence. They're modestly priced.
Yep.
They're affordable.
The bands look very similar.
They're very slick. The appearance, the construction's always great. You don't ever get a dud. You don't ever get anything that's, as far as from taste to construction to everything about the consistency of the product.
Yeah.
I mean, the only others I can think of that do it as good or better would be Padron or Perdomo.
Well, you certainly
La Aroma, Ashton, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you certainly can't. With the 3 brands you named, you can't go wrong if you only smoke that brand. If you only smoked Oliva, you would be just fine. If you only smoke Padron, you know what I'm saying? Or Perdomo, specifically Perdomo, because they have so many different, a wider range of what I would call probably flavor profile than, say, Padron. Not that it's better, it's just broader.
No, I would just say overall.
I think you're right. I agree with that.
Brand loyalty.
Yeah.
and the consistency of the product as well as the quality of the product every time. I've never had a bad one. I've never had
of any of those brands you named.
The only bad Oliva experience I had was with the 135th anniversary issue. And the only reason I had a bad experience with it is it came in this beautiful box. The presentation was unbelievable. I've got it hanging on the wall over here.
Yeah.
But the inside cutout, they're the little weird one that look like Bam Bam's baseball bat.
Got gold on the end of them.
Yeah. They have a gold foot band that says 135, and they're a Series V. They're not a Melanio, but they're a V. And they go from skinny at the bottom to fat at the top. So they're kind of like in the shape of like a baseball bat without the knob on the bottom.
But like Captain Caveman's.
Yeah, or Bam Bam.
Bam Bam. Bam. Bam.
Bam, 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 bam. But their packaging, they packaged those in that box, and they had the cigars where it was routed out, kind of like in like a fan shape.
Right, yeah.
And they rolled around.
In transit.
Yes. And I don't see how they would ever not be the same if you ordered another box of them, because they're not in cellophane. They're in loose, and they're in that odd shape, and they're not held in there tight against each other.
They probably got some complaints about that.
And I had several cracked. Now I repaired them. I smoked them.
And they are good, because I smoked them.
And they are good, but
that's disappointing.
That would be the only thing. That would only be the only bad experience that I've had with Oliva cigars overall.
Which is not even a cigar issue. It's a packaging issue.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, if you can say that about any kind of product line, you're saying something. I will. We talked about this on an earlier show, but sometimes we smoke a lot of different things because that's the business we're in. And
we smoke all the bad ones, so you don't have to.
Right. And so we smoke a lot of things. So we've always got a new cigar that we're trying because of the business, and so we can be informed. But sometimes you want to go and get what you know. It's like this. Okay, I need one cigar to save my life or save my day, if you will. This is on my list. I know this is going to be as an almost exquisite experience as they're going to get. This is nearly as far as, this is a perfect cigar, in my opinion. This is one of my, for me now, not perfect for everybody, but for my palate and what I like aesthetically, I've got like 4 or 5 cigars that are my perfect cigar. And this is one of those. And the only torpedo on the bunch. And I would just as soon smoke the Churchill, really.
Yeah, I am. I am definitely probably a more torpedo fan than you are.
Yeah.
I probably have a lot more torpedoes than you do in your collection, or Bellicosos for that matter.
And realistically, unless it was basically a defining size for that cigar, I won't buy it. I mean, like the Andalusian Bull. Okay, that's what it is, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, as far as, I think I'm going to try a torpedo now.
You kind of get used to them. The biggest drawback that I do have with the Melanio, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with is that I'm not a fan of the real kind of hard box pressed like these are.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only it's the only real drawback that I have as far as just any kind of personal issue And it's not, like I said, like I was getting ready to say earlier, it's not so much about the cigar. It's just about these type of cigars in general. Now, I also know that, I mean, from what we've been taught, from what we've read, from what we've heard other influencers and other cigar makers say, that being a box press can oftentimes affect the taste and the blend and
sure.
of making it better or worse.
This is a good one to talk about for this particular subject.
If they said box press were 70% better
with this blend or something.
Well, just as a box press, cigars are 70% better if you box press them. Then we probably would have a hard time finding round ones, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Parejos, because they're going to go with the data. They're going to go with, if the guy says, hey, man, they're hitting on the orange,
then orange
rooster tail.
That's right.
You're going to throw the orange rooster tail if you got one. And if you don't, well, maybe you put you on a big 1 ounce spinnerbait and hit him in the back of the head while you're fishing and steal his. I don't know. You could.
Darwinism in the boat.
Yeah, you might. But that would be my only. That certainly doesn't take away any of the enjoyment of saying, I'm going to smoke a Melanio tonight. You know what I mean? But it does. I am not a big. I'm okay with the box press, but I like them if they're a little softer box press and not quite so pronounced, so hard edged. It
for example,
just feels weird.
What would be
I think that's why I prefer a torpedo if it's a box press.
Oh, okay.
Because the mouthfeel is right versus.
I see. Well, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that now. Well,
now that I really study it and think about it,
what would be a softer box press that you like, you think?
I mean,
like the Padron.
My father, the Florida Los Antillas is a soft box press.
Yeah, it's true. What about the Padron Anniversary Series stuff? Is that soft enough?
They're a little more softer, yeah. Even the 1000 series are more soft than these. Now, you got to also think these have probably softened up a little bit because they've got some age on them. But now when you get one of these things brand spanking new, I mean, sometimes they're to me.
Yeah.
Again,
no, I get what you're saying.
It doesn't have anything. There's not a big enough drawback in that to affect my time enjoying and/or the taste of this cigar.
Yeah.
Just a personal preference,
right? Well, I'm with you on the box press stuff too. I don't. If I never smoked another box press cigar or a torpedo cigar and only smoked traditional Parejos, I'd be okay with that. The mouthfeel is traditional. That's one thing. I'm going to give you the opposite of the mouthfeel. On a regular Parejo round cigar, to get the seal on the back when you put it in your mouth, you don't have to put it in as far. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's like when you pull it back and, all right, I want my mouth to be open about this, like this with a Parejo that size. Well, here, if I'm doing this, I feel like I'm smoking a Virginia Slim with a
Hey doll.
Hey doll. Welcome to Clinton Highway. So we were talking about Clinton Highway at another show, which we stormed the halls of Clinton Highway our whole life. So we're right there with you. I'm not a fan of those shapes either. Now, the 1000 series is nowhere near as box presses, and I don't know that all of them are. I don't know that the 5000 is.
Well, The very first version, from what I understand of what a traditional box press cigar was basically putting the cigars up a little wetter than normal. But like in this, you guys can't see it, but Jamie can. But like in this Cabañas box right here, there's a nail.
Right.
That's what that nail was for. That wasn't just to keep the box closed, but when they would get ready to put them up, they would put them in the box, seal them, and drive that nail in there. And that was what they were considering box pressed. Way back.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that wasn't an actual mold.
It wasn't a mold and the crank and the whole thing of the way they do now. And see, Padron actually puts...
yeah, like the 5,000s per hour.
They don't do their... They actually do theirs a little backwards. They put them up, from what I'm told and what I understand from different things. Excuse me. From different information that I've gotten, that they actually put them up wet. So they don't go in a mold or they don't go sit, whether they be in a round mold or a box press mold, for so long and then took back out, and then the wrapper put on. The wrapper goes on and they put them in the box.
That's interesting. I didn't know any of that. But I'm with you. I don't appreciate the box press shape as much. But in this, well, what I was going to say is, okay, so we picked up a box of Melanios in Parejo that were made specifically for
another
company. And we've smoked them. They're Robusto size, and we've smoked them, and they're good. But I think these are better.
Yeah.
So
I haven't had enough of them to really.
But I've had them one after the other.
Yeah.
And I think that this shape but that's the wonderful thing about cigars, is that whether I like a box press or a torpedo or whatever, I'm still going to smoke the best version of it I can get. And in my personal opinion, the best version of this cigar is this one. So it was the Robusto one. Did it have a torpedo?
No.
So it was just a standard. Okay. But anyway, I'm past the first third now. And this thing's got a lot of flavor. I'd call it for me, it's a medium as far as strength goes.
No, it's total medium.
It's got some pepper in it.
Medium to medium full, but more so to the medium, however you figure that out. There's all kinds of debates on mild to medium, medium to full, straight medium, extra full, I don't know.
This is a smoke that anybody can appreciate.
Yes, absolutely.
You can hand this I would have no problem handing this to somebody brand new.
And we have.
It does look, it's darker, so people think, oh man, it's stronger. That's hardly ever the case, really. It can be.
Now, I will say this real quick, just to help everybody with that statement. We have give this to a total newbie, but they were a total newbie that we felt and knew was going to smoke the whole cigar.
Right. Don't be handing it out to your buddies that, I'll smoke one too.
No, not these. No, everybody's got other cigars for that. And that doesn't mean they're getting a bad one. It just means it's not going to hurt you, them, or your pocketbook any worse than...
I'll tell you, this is something to consider because, especially with what we're doing in Knoxville with what's coming up for us, our big surprise announcement and all this. This is the perfect wedding cigar. I can't think of one that'd be more appropriate than this. And here's why. One,
for your wedding or to take
for the groomsmen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're going to get your groomsman cigars, that's a tradition and smoke or whatever. this is the perfect choice. Here's why. One, it's luxuriously made. It looks expensive. The band's great, but they're very affordable. And they kick ass. Everybody's going to want this. Even the ladies are probably going to want one.
I would, however, recommend you. Well, now, is this for groomsmen as a gift, or is this for groomsmen for you guys to smoke at the wedding?
Well, if you're going to smoke at the wedding, get them a Robusto size. So
that's what I was
they're not going to waste half of it.
Well, you can't be gone that long.
Yeah.
You can't be gone that long if you're the groom. Your best man can't be gone that long. Your groomsman can't, because there's going to be pictures, and, your relaxing days of getting what you want are over because you just got married, stupid.
Yeah. And when you have children, it's really over.
Oh, yeah.
But any celebratory event.
I just wanted to clarify that.
No, you're right.
That's not something you're going to get from.
And see, we could have sold you the big one. Get the short one if you're going to.
That's something you're not going to be told.
Ever, really.
I don't know of any B&Ms that would. And maybe they would.
Maybe they would. But that's something to consider. Smoking time. We ought to do a show on that. But any celebratory cigar event, this would be ideal for. This thing looks great. Now, something to consider too, because it's got this gold and this red and stuff. If it doesn't match your wedding colors and you need to ask your bride, then you might want to go with something with a silver in it.
Yeah.
Or white, like the Villiger.
Yeah.
Something. But I'm telling you, this thing is in a shape that I don't like, with an end I don't like, and it's on my Mount Rushmore. So that's how good it is for me. So,
as I've always said, everybody knows you're a liar.
That's why I'm here.
I am too.
That's why I'm here.
Now, okay, so now you got something there you did that I did not do with the way you cut your torpedo. You show them that.
Yes, I used as many different names for this. It's called a rose, rose cut, or a crown cut. And what you do is you take a V cutter, and I highly, highly, highly recommend experiencing a V cut, because it is a different thing. But a V cut is just a guillotine style cutter, but it cuts a V notch into your end of your cigar. So. And I learned this from Mike. You cut it one way, and then you turn it.
Cut it the first time with the band, with the name on top.
Right.
Okay, that way you don't get mixed
confused. Yeah.
So you cut it that way first, top to bottom, with the band, with the name of the cigar on top.
Right, just like that. And then you turn it 90 degrees and cut it again.
Yeah, from side to side.
Side to side. Side to side. Side to side. Paint the fence.
Okay, Danielson.
Yeah, Danielson. So, I like the mouthfeel of this better. I don't know that it smokes any better. I don't know that it does at all. You just cut yours straight. Well, you cut yours at an angle. I
do cut mine at a little bit of an angle, if you can see on there. I'm trying to put my hand up here for reference where you can see it, but I do cut mine on just a slight angle. But the key with the straight cut on your torpedoes, less is more. I cut mine the first time, and I might have taken, you won't even be able to see it on camera. I took that much off the first time. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's as much as I took off. I could have smoked it right there. The draw was okay enough. But I was afraid, as I talked, as saliva built up, as I was doing this, that it was probably close up on me a little bit. So guess what? Easy peasy. Just cut just a little more. Take another blade width off. But you can always, at some point, if you're not cutting them that way, you're just smoking something that's not a torpedo. And you run the risk of getting down past the wrap. You're probably not going to on one of these with the way these are wrapped, but you might as well just smoke a Toro or a Robusto
and
or a
save your
Churchill
money
then,
because
and save
a
your
lot
money.
of people don't know that, but torpedoes cost more.
Yeah.
Bellicosas cost more. It's just harder to roll. So
it's harder to roll, and the best rollers only roll things that are not in your standard size and shape. Your regular Vitolas. So we like that's the way I do mine. I used to do mine like that all the time, and I still do on occasion, but mostly anytime I'm cutting something these days, it's going to be with the
guillotine.
With the guillotine, yeah.
Yeah. And
just because I like it that way. I don't know if it's even better. I do think the surface area creates more cool smoke, so it allows you to get more flavor if you're into trying to develop your palate a little bit. But tomato,
me,
it's up to you.
Yeah, for me, it's a novelty thing. I just like the tongue feel on this, and it just feels good.
Yeah.
And but most of the time, I don't even have a V cutter with me. So 90% of the time, I don't cut it like this. I just brought that because I knew we were going to smoke this and make this our cigar.
I'll tell you something else I do with a torpedo that I find I just find myself doing it from time to time. So, you see that's with the band. So if that was up, I take it to where those 90 angles are probably at like a 45. And for whatever reason, I will bite that in that direction. Not like chomp down on it. I don't mean deform your cigar, but it does something with the draw, and it makes this even a little more rounder for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll do that on one side, and then I'll take it on the other, and I'll occasionally bite it on that side too when I'm, smoking it.
And you will learn to do these things when you find a cigar that's got a little bit of a plug in it, or sometimes if I don't have one of the tool with me, we use this little tool. What's that thing called?
Perfect Draw.
Perfect Draw. It's great.
You can buy them.
But especially if it's a big ring gauge and it's got a draw that I don't like, I will kind of chew the end of it a little bit to kind of break it loose a little. And that seems to help sometimes, not all the time.
And you might do that on certain cigars you smoke just because you like them and you're not thinking about it.
True. Yeah.
They're just...
Well, a lot of people chew them for part of the flavor.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
for sure.
Really,
well, I mean, it's the same stuff it's all the other shit the bad shit that's added to chewing tobacco. I mean, it's the same types of tobacco. But and a lot of people, I know several older folks that don't smoke them anymore, but they always chew on one. They've always got a cigar.
Oh yeah.
You get that from time to time too, but finding what you like, you'll find little tricks and tips about that. Now, listen, when I tell you all this stuff about this is what I do, or this is how I am, and blah, 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 I could care less if you're doing it that way because you learned it from me. I don't give two flying bags of Frenchman's fucks about any of that shit. I'm only telling you that to pass it on. It's up to you. I want to make sure that you all are as well educated as you can be, so you're not, so you're getting 100% of the satisfaction that this thing was made for.
That's right. And what you paid for.
And that you paid for. Yeah. And that you're now getting ready to set on fire.
That's right. You pay, and so you bought an experience because you're not going to have nothing left when you're done.
So just
your experience.
Exactly.
So,
and we just want to give you the information. Your cigar, your time, it's your business.
But that's inside information you wouldn't get. Nobody's going to tell you, hey, I take this box press and I turn it at an angle and I chew on it a little bit sometimes, and it makes the cut a little wider and rounder and the draws better. You heard that here only I guarantee you, because we listen to everybody. And so a little tidbit like that may save somebody in the audience a year, or may save them from not smoking at all.
Or they may, they may learn to like torpedoes. I don't know.
Well, that too, and listen, nothing against them. They're great. It's not my thing.
No, anytime it takes a more skilled, more specialized roller to roll perfecto shapes. And even though this don't have a double torpedo or a double, cone end or whatever, it's still considered a perfecto shape when it's torpedo. So that's another thing that can get really confusing, because especially if you're putting any stock into saying get it in this size, whether this stick or something else that we recommend, because it can be very challenging sometimes if you don't know what all the words and stuff means. With the way they list these things, sometimes can be very confusing, and then you wind up getting the wrong thing.
Yeah, at the very least, incomplete. Most of the information is just incomplete.
Incomplete, or just you run the factor of not getting what you want.
Yeah,
and nobody likes that shit.
Especially when you're paying good money for it. It's.
Do you like not getting what you want?
Oh, apparently.
Yeah. That's the way that goes.
Not sure I'm good at
it. No shit. I'm pretty good at digging holes.
Yeah. I tell you, you got to, this is a hobby to us.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, it's the means to several different ends for my personal life, because it makes me slow down and whatever. So that's why we want to make sure that you're getting the best possible cigar for you. And these are just recommendations. Now, would I say that 80% of you are going to love this? Probably. So
I got a line from a Michael Reno Harrell song that's perfect for this. These ain't rules, they're just some things we figured out. Yeah.
That's great.
To make your life easier.
That's great.
Putting cigars in your mouth. Now that I added that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, these ain't rules, they're just some things that we figured out. That song is called Living in the South. Great song. Says it's mustard on hot dogs and ketchup on French fried potatoes, gravy on biscuits with homemade tomatoes. Not all barbecue cooking is the same. No, that's not it. Oh, hell, I messed it up. Any rate, these ain't rules, they're just some things we figured out to make life easy when you're living here in the South. If you're going to the beach, make sure to check for hurricane warnings. Anyway, well, it's a good tune. It's a good tune. But I think that's the way to sum it up. These ain't rules. These are just things we figured out, and we're trying to pass them on to you guys. So.
One thing about this particular cigar, too, is it changes quite a bit. I mean, it's got a lot of different nuances in it. It's one of my favorite retro hell cigars that I've got, because you can get anything from like this deep, dark fruit to this chocolate-ish thing.
I'm thinking like cocoa, and mine it's finally gotten sweet. I'm starting to get some of that real nice caramelly top sweetness out of it. But then it's also got real nutty in the retro for me.
Yeah.
That's why I like retro in this cigar so much. That's why I like retro in cigars, because if you're not going to do it, there's some of these flavors you're not going to pick up on. And it's so hard to explain until you've done it the first time and you go, oh shit, peanuts.
Peanuts. Yeah.
Or whatever flavor, but oh my God. And this one is very almond nut.
It really is. It's got a little bit of
like what you'd expect to look in a chocolate bar that look like this,
Yeah. And for the retro hell, a lot of people are like, well, how do I do it? I can't do it. Or you're inhaling it or whatever. It's very simple. Okay. What you do is you fill your mouth full of smoke and then exhale, but keep your mouth closed.
Yeah. Just blow it through your nose.
That's it.
You can do it without a smoke.
Yeah.
You can just go, you can fill your mouth full of air, close your mouth, and blow out your nose. You got to come out somewhere.
And a lot of times I will do it like without having to hold it. I'll just suck it in and just and what it will do, it basically makes your sense of smell and taste come together a little better.
It's allowing you to use all your receptors.
That's right. And you will taste stuff immediately that you didn't taste before. And once you've got the taste of it, it's like, okay, now I know it's there and I know to look for it and you'll get it. I retro on this cigar about every other puff, which is a lot, I guess, but still.
But that's where I get all that nuttiness is on this cigar in particular is through the retro. And I get the caramelly sweetness more so on the, on the mouth and the palate.
There's something about this on the first draw that I'm getting. It's almost like buttermilk on the very back.
Got a little sour.
Just a little bit of butter.
Savory.
Savory. And that's something when you're trying to learn to taste cigars, you need to think about your mouth and your tongue and how you taste food and whatever. There's different parts of your mouth that are going to be better at receiving sweet versus salty, and they've kind of disproven that the tongue is just sectional. It's kind of a morphing thing. But you will find, like, if I take the smoke in to the back of my mouth, I'll get a different vibe. It might be the same flavor, but it'll be a different part of that flavor, might still be buttermilk, but it's got a little bit of I don't know. That's how you practice tasting this stuff is at first it is just going to be smoke. And you're going to taste is smoke.
It's like smoke, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, that guy. But as you go, and if you retro hell every now and then, at the first time, if you've never done that, it's going to be a little scary. It's okay. You're fine. You're not taking smoke into your lungs. Trust me.
No.
So
you're not.
But this would be a great, this cigar is just good for any time of day.
You could totally kick off a day with this one. Like if you're doing the Derby, that'd be a great first cigar.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
If you didn't have a really good kick-ass Connecticut, something really light, but you could swap, hey,
be there a long time. Hell,
you got to place the show, right?
Yeah.
You can't win the show if you don't pick them to place. So maybe you swap it up. I would say, thanks for the info, McGill. It's probably what you're thinking. The fucking Derby was 2 weeks ago, and I lost $37,000.
Fuck this guy.
Sorry. I just thought about it. But yeah, you could totally on a special day, cigars where you got cigars, you could totally kick off with this one. Be just fine.
Cigar.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think maybe not.
We need to do an episode on tasting and pairings and whatever, because there's different philosophies on that. And here's mine on it is that when I'm tasting trying a new smoke, I drink something that is very non-invasive. Water, a flavored water or something.
Whatever.
But
He's a lying asshole.
No bourbon or none of that shit because I don't want to. I want to taste what the cigar is.
No,
first.
give me a sour beer that somebody's dead grandma smashed with their fucking feet in a hot pit.
Do you have a cider
in a hot pit over a fucking pickle barrel? Smoke one of those with it.
Ugh. But
yeah,
keep
sodas, bubbling water, Sprite.
Yeah.
Any kind of like sparkling water, LaCroix, in the cans or whatever.
For me, citrus is good. Like grapefruit juice is good. If you want alcohol, just something citrusy because it for me.
But there definitely are cigars that pair better with even the non-alcoholic stuff.
Sure.
But just experiment. You may come up with your own thing, and then we'll have a reason for calling you a weirdo.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's a term of endearment.
It really is.
I don't mean anything by it. I'm a weirdo.
For me, this is Oliva's best cigar. I just don't. That says Oliva on it for sure. We love the Oliva G in the Cameroon. I smoked the Oliva G Maduro.
What did you think about it?
I thought more of it than you did. I feel like
good.
I thought it was. I thought at its price point and the size was really good. I liked the size of it. It wasn't quite as sweet as I expected it to be, though. I prefer it in the Cameroon.
Yeah, it was just a little. Nothing wrong with it.
But is this Oliva's best smoke?
I don't know, man. I'd have to. Those Oliva G Churchill
Cameroons.
The Cameroons are hard to beat, man.
They are good. But you like Cameroons.
I like that. I really like this cigar too, and I smoke it from time to time. Now I haven't had one in a while. But I'm usually the slow smoker, and I'm only an ash length behind you.
Yeah, I think I started first too.
You did. But, I thoroughly enjoy this cigar. So for me, I don't know. You need to bring me one of those Churchill G's. I hadn't had one of those in a long time. Not one of those.
They just get better.
The reason I say that one of those is because he had bought that box of those cigars at least 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was the one who told you to get them.
Oh, I know.
I was like, I
had to hunt for them. They were hidden.
That's why they're damn good.
Yeah, well.
But I haven't had one in a while. But, I would say it's probably, I don't know this. This would be a good thing to look up if we could find out the information. Wonder what cigar they sell more than any other. The Oliva.
Probably the V standard.
Probably. That Connecticut Reserve.
No.
Reserva. That's their entry line, Connecticut.
I know, but
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm going through I say that's the first one, but you think about the O. Straight up Nicaraguan.
It says here that the most popular and best-selling Oliva is the Series V.
Okay, there you go. But you know what I mean? They've got a pretty wide. They have the V, they have the V nub, they have the V in the Melanio, they have the V in the Maduro. But just
they got several. I forgot about that master blend thing they do.
Man, I don't know what.
I wouldn't have called it the master blend.
No.
It's not there. It's nowhere near. as good as this smoke
I don't
is.
think so. Now, I've heard lots of guys that I respect. I've bought cigars because of their review.
And they love them.
And the review, and when I got the cigars, I wasn't let down because they were what I thought they were what I thought it was going to be. But I ain't ever had one of those master blends that was ever tripped.
Well, I bought a box.
Ever tripped my trigger for any size, the little one to the big one. I just haven't. But,
that's the great thing about cigars. Something you don't like.
That's just me.
Or,
We talked to people. We talked to a guy 3 weeks ago. That was one of his favorite cigars.
Oh, yeah. Well, he liked the strength of it.
Yeah.
He said it was real strong. I didn't feel like it was that strong.
Yeah, but he liked it. That was his.
So there are people out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people out there that like brands that I don't really care for. And like them a lot. So
there's some fucking people out there that are Yankee fans.
Thank God. Yankee note, though.
Weird.
You're witnessing one of the greatest players in the history of our game.
Weird.
I thought he was going to be a flash in the pan, but he is flash in the pan. He's batting over 400.
Let's just settle down. Put your pants back on first of all, and lighten up, Francis.
You know what? You'll get to see the Yankees beat the Red Sox in Boston this year.
And you know what? I was almost going to follow up, but that's all right now. It's his show. I'm only allowed to exist. What the hell?
Oh, shit.
No, I was going to give your boy props. I'm anxious to see how long he can keep this hit game up. I'm anxious to see if he, if he peters out or if he tails off or if he comes back or if he just stays steady, because he's at a pace, that he could hit 400 this year.
Oh, sure. I don't think he will. That's virtually impossible, but
I don't think he will either, but that was as kind and as a creative comment.
That was, my God.
That I could give you with giving you guys a little info.
That's not turning over a leaf. That's turning over a forest for you.
About it.
I was listening to somebody. It might have been Paul O'Neill. Somebody, former player, was talking about that he adjusted his stance or something, and I haven't noticed. I haven't watched it, but apparently he's adjusted his stance and closed it a little bit so he can reach more of the outside of the plate.
Give the guy one compliment.
I didn't know.
No, I think he did. I'd heard something about him working on the stance. And
I tell you another team that's got
really
some hot young players that's going to be good. It's that damn San Diego. Holy shit. Yankees beat them twice in a row, but they got some young talent. That Tatis dude, Tatis Jr.
He's pretty incredible.
He's an athlete and they've got 2 or 3. Well, they got Machado.
Yeah, and I hate him.
I do too, but he's great. He's a great player. Fuck. And then they've got this other guy.
I wanted to like Machado. He came up through the Orioles. And I'd watched him play when he was with the O's.
Well, he's a fucking prick.
Oh, he's an
awful
piece of garbage, man.
Anyway, it's nice to see a lot of young. It makes me feel good about the game because you got all these young players.
Well, they're spending the money, man.
Yeah,
in San Diego to try to get a championship there.
Well, they're good, man. Their team is good. It just so happened they run into a buzzsaw. You know how a team will get hot for a game, but I think the Padres are probably better than the Yankees. Oh, top to bottom. Anyway. It's good to see, like Dela Cruz, or is it, Ellie Dela Cruz?
Yeah.
That guy, the guy at Kansas City, Whit.
Yeah.
All this young talent, man, it's good to see that at least the future.
Well, and you got Mr. Hotshot up there, flamethrower of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
what's his name?
Skeens.
Paul Skeen's up there blazing them down.
I mean, this guy is a generational arm, man. He's got that. I mean, and now in a time when there's a lot of people with big arms. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
somebody fell up there.
Yeah.
Did they die?
I haven't heard. Ted had sent me a message and told me that evidently, well, I'll just tell you, my friend the usher saw it happen from a distance. Very scary. He didn't move after he landed. Was in critical for a while. He was speaking at one point, but no public word on prognosis.
Goodness gracious. Well, I saw a video.
Everyone from the section said the kid was very drunk. The Pirates are denying all of that because he's underage for liability.
Oh, no.
So we'll see.
Well, you hate to
I mean,
see
that's
that.
all alleged. That's
Alleged,
not.
yeah.
And if you hadn't been young and drunk in public once in your life, then
You probably listening to the wrong show.
You ain't telling the truth.
Probably listening to the wrong show.
Well, I mean, yeah, but yeah. I mean, that's
Shit, I was 30 years old till I went to a Waffle House sober. So,
yeah.
It didn't. Shit happens.
Yeah.
But
let's wrap this cigar up.
Well,
unless you got
no, good guy cigar of the day or week or of the moment is this Oliva V Melanio in the torpedo size, any size, and I highly recommend them. I mean, you can get them in a individually, singles, 5-packs, bundles of 20, I think, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, highly recommend this cigar. This is one that I would,
Yeah, visit the website.
Yeah, definitely.
But we got these and a lot more. And listen, great. I'm glad you did. I'm glad we did this because I hadn't had one of these in quite some time, and I have thoroughly enjoyed burning through this. And I only say that because I'm usually a very, very, very slow smoker.
Yeah,
and this one's been really good. And yeah, no relights. I did one little minor touch up on mine, but we've been yapping at the mouth. I don't think I've had to relight this one. I had to relight one in the last video, but I'm kind of like Dave from Cigar Authority. I like when that happens, when I don't have to relight them.
Yeah, I do too.
Nothing wrong with it, nothing to it. We'll show you how to do it, but
listen, you're going to have to relight sometimes. So it's not like, if you relight, you're a rookie. No, it's not that. I'll tell you what, there's some lighting techniques though. When you have a thicker wrapper like this or Connecticut broadleaf or something, you got to get the edge of the wrapper burning when you do your toast. And when you light, if you don't, you're going to have burn line problems a lot.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the plum in there now through the retro. I like that. But any rate, guys, that's it. That's that. Life's too smoked short. Shit. Life's too short
Dude.
to smoke bad cigars.
We don't cut our bloopers. We leave them.
That's right. We can't. We don't have enough money for the editor. No. We can't pay him enough. No. We can't make him do any more. He said, fuck off. I'm not doing no more. This is great. And I said, you're great.
I think it's funny when the guest showed up. They're like, you're going to cut that out, aren't you? We're like, no, we're not.
No.
Cut out nothing.
No.
Oh, hell.
But be kind to one another. Love one another. Doesn't cost a dime to be kind, but there's always a price to be paid for cruelty. Jamie, you want to do them again?
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you next time.
I'll be gone in the morning before the sun comes up with me and my weenie dog and my pickup truck. And either way, baby, a good man, it's hard to find. said, now either way, baby, a good man is hard to find.